That's it! Oh!
Everything came crashing down.
It's the fresher fire. Oh! My hand, he hurt him! I mean, Ilia's face is just destroyed.
Champion of the world, Justin!
Bones make stronger bones. Like, that is his orbital bones will be stronger.
It
they will
depends
be
on where,
calcified.
though, Justin. The orbital bone.
He's doing good, you know. Tough kid, obviously. After the first round, his eye was bothering him. You could see that he got hit. Justin just kept busting him up the next couple of rounds.
Yeah.
And Ilia really wanted to continue. I actually think he probably won that round, too. His corner, I think, stopped the fight. Props to them.
Considered your favorite fighter's favorite fighter. And that's not just something people say because it sounds cool. This is real. Justin goes in there with Ilia Topuria, a guy who has been just absolutely phenomenal the entirety of his career. He gets hurt very bad, builds back. When we were talking about this thing and we were building this thing, I told Anakin Rogan, I believe that a setting can propel people to great things. I'm not the type of person that does not think that the environment can play a part in the result of a
I was one who picked against Justin Gaethje. When you look at Justin Gaethje's previous fights, when he's fought Dustin Poirier, when he's fought Charles Oliveira, when he's fought Khabib Nurmagomedov, when he's fought Eddie Alvarez, Justin Gaethje gets dropped. He gets dropped and he gets finished. I mean, so that's something that got in and stop it. They go to the fourth round. Once again, Justin Gaethje jumps right on.
Fight of the year, fight of the whatever. It's one of the greatest fights you'll ever see. It was incredible. And especially when you got a guy, I don't know where it ended up, but 6, 7, 8 to 1 underdog, and then comes in and does what he did tonight. And then Ilia, I mean, the body shots that Ilia hit Gaethje with in that round, and then Gaethje gets through it. Gaethje's about to get into, an armbar. He almost got into a triangle. I mean, you saw everything in that fight.
But all these reports are that he has 2 fractured orbitals and a broken nose. Just that alone, just the orbitals alone, like anytime you've got eye injuries, like anything severe with your eyes, long-term consequences vary.
Psychological.
When I had my orbital broken, and for 6 months I would do this and my tooth would move, and it's right where my sinus cavity is. You remember when you hit me with the spinning elbow?
Your tooth would move?
Dude,
when you push
right
on
here,
your cheek?
and my tooth would move.
Oh.
If you would fight your brother professionally.
No, don't give me this.
Yeah.
Don't give me this question. He will.
Before the cage door even locked on the south lawn of the White House, the narrative seemed completely set in stone. The world was watching a generational passing of the torch. On one side stood an undefeated, seemingly untouchable prodigy who had violently dismantled every man placed in front of him. On the other was a battle-hardened veteran, stepping in as a massive underdog, widely expected to be just another highlight reel knockout for the rising star. But the fight game is ruthlessly unforgiving. By the time the dust settled, the undisputed aura was permanently shattered, the underdog was standing tall, and a horrifying medical emergency was unfolding right in front of a global audience. This wasn't just an upset. It was a calculated, brutal dismantling that left fans utterly
like Ilia's body, deal with his weight and don't get injured. I cannot give him advantage. If I give him advantage, it's gonna be easy work for him. So no, I want to put him pressure, give him hard work.
So realistic.
More can stay with him physically, which I was, but I cannot tell you which was the most competitive part because with him everything is competitive. I cannot choose like striking, wrestling, grappling because everywhere it's like.
Videos was the video that went viral was you showing Ilia the way that he was going to finish Max Holloway. Do you have any sort of like breakdown or things that you saw with Justin Gaethje as well? Obviously, you can't give too much away, but over time, is there going to be another video if the knockout happens this weekend where you're showing Ilia exactly how to do it?
I have to say this with another brothers, but like I say, me and him, we are not just brothers, we are good friends. So it's very important to have, because sometimes for somebody, brother is something, you know, family, and just, okay, when we sit on the table in the family, we speak about it. No, we are not that type of brothers. We are brothers, but at the same time, we are best friends. And
one of the biggest reasons behind Ilia,
nothing can prepare you for it. That's the thing, and that's why I don't think he'll ever come back the same. Nothing can prepare you for it, but we'll find out what sort of man he is if he does come back and when he does come back. Because, as I say, I've been there before. I've been beat, you know what I mean, and I've had to come back stronger every time, and I have done. He's never been beat. He's never had to do this before. He's gonna have to look at himself in the mirror and be like, "What? I've just got my head smashed in. I need to come back." And you never know, he might have the cojones to do it.
The physical toll of this clash was instantly apparent, and it was entirely catastrophic. Reports quickly surfaced detailing the horrific damage the young star sustained during the brutal exchange. He hadn't just been beaten. His face was structurally compromised. Doctors confirmed 2 severely broken orbital bones alongside a shattered nose. In the middle of the fight, the swelling became so severe that his vision completely vanished. Imagine the sheer terror of being locked in a cage with one of the hardest hitters in combat sports history, and suddenly the world goes entirely dark. Medical experts and veteran commentators quickly pointed out a grim reality. Broken bones eventually calcify and heal stronger. Cuts fade into scars. But the deep psychological trauma of losing your sight while taking heavy artillery is the kind of damage that fundamentally alters a fighter's DNA. But the physical destruction was only a symptom of a much larger, hidden problem.
Had already reached that point.
This whole sequence started after the 3rd round. Topuria got absolutely peppered, multiple shots to the right eye, and we could hear the translation while Topuria was on his stool, with his team calling for the doctor, saying that he could not see out of his right eye. If you can't see out of your eye, it's pretty simple. The doctor's gonna come in, they're going to evaluate you, and if you're telling them that they can't see, they are going to, and they should appropriately, stop the fight. We see the ringside physician come in, he does a quick part of his assessment, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, and then afterwards he basically looks over to Mark Goddard and shakes his head and says no. Based on that doctor's initial assessment, Topuria cannot see. He is not safe to continue, and the doctor tells Mark Goddard, no, he can't see. Fight should be off. It looks like this other gentleman who then steps in is one of the other ringside physicians that was there.
For years, the young prodigy had built a terrifying reputation based entirely on dominance. He was always a hammer, relentlessly pounding his opposition into the canvas. But as rival fighters eagerly pointed out after the stunning defeat, being the hammer creates a dangerous illusion of invincibility. He had never been forced to fight out of a deep, suffocating deficit. He had never truly experienced the terrifying sensation of his own blood in his eyes, or an opponent who simply refused to fold under pressure. When the veteran dragged him into deep waters, the undefeated star found himself drowning in an environment he had never prepared for. The swagger and the pre-fight celebrations vanished, replaced by the grim realization that he was locked in a brutal dogfight with a man who absolutely thrives in chaos. And the scariest part was how perfectly this chaos was orchestrated.
I would put Justin Gaethje against Paddy Pimblett. I think that he's gonna.
You think Paddy's gonna beat Justin Gaethje?
Easy.
Wow. Easy. Really easy?
Yeah, easy.
Really easy?
Yeah.
Wow. That's a crazy thing to say because Justin Gaethje's a fucking animal.
Yeah, but he doesn't know how to grapple, and Paddy knows.
But he's a Division I wrestler. He knows how to grapple. You don't think he knows how to grapple? He just chooses not to. He chooses to stand and fight.
I don't think so. Did you ever saw him submitting someone?
I don't believe he's ever submitted someone, but I think that's because he likes to just crush people. He likes to bang it out and fight. He used to fight.
What everyone likes is to dominate people and to win as soon as possible. If you have the ability to submit someone as soon as you can, you would do it.
I think that's your mindset. I think Justin Gaethje's mindset is to be the most violent person alive. The thing is, man, don't think that Justin Gaethje can't win. Like, anybody can lose in an MMA fight. People get hit. Like in Ilia Topuria, one of his early fights, Herbert caught him with a head kick in the first round.
While fans watched what looked like a wild, untamed brawl, the veteran was actually executing a flawless, high-stakes game plan. Analysts completely broke down the tactical brilliance behind the violence. The goal was to completely suffocate the prodigy's rhythm right from the opening bell. Instead of fighting at a distance, the veteran jumped right into the fire, keeping his opponent's hands entirely occupied. By doing this, He completely neutralized the young star's devastating body shots and lethal boxing combinations. The veteran wasn't interested in technical grappling or playing it safe. He weaponized forward pressure, acting as a human warhammer. Every exchange was designed to break the younger fighter's will, proving that overwhelming violence, when applied with precision, can crack even the most pristine armor. And what happened next in the corner would ignite a massive controversy.
Если говорить про самые ожидаемые бои в мире UFC, то, очевидно, это бой твоего брата Илии Топурии с Исламом Махачевым. А хотел бы ты тоже в этом карде присутствовать и быть, например, в соглавном бою вечера и как раз сразиться с Умаром?
If we're talking about probably some of the most expected fights in the UFC, the ones that people are longing to see, most likely it's a fight against your brother against Islam Makhachev. Would you be interested in also being featured on that card, potentially to be a co-main event against somebody like an Umar?
Actually, the thing is that right now they ask me the same question if they're gonna see us fighting in the same card, and the answer is no, because our path is a little bit different. We organize everything a little bit different, but it can be in different cards, you know.
Меня уже спросили этот вопрос по-грузински, но я уже ответил, что нет, скорее всего нет, поскольку мы планируем все определенным способом. У нас разные пути, поэтому драться надо.
By the end of the third round, the damage reached a terrifying breaking point. The prodigy collapsed onto a stool and admitted the one thing no corner ever wants to hear. He couldn't see. Audio from the broadcast picked up the frantic translation as his team scrambled. A ringside physician immediately stepped in, performed a rapid assessment, and was reportedly seen shaking his head, signaling to the referee that the fighter was not safe to continue. The protocol is clear. If a fighter is blind, the fight is over. Yet, in a bizarre sequence of events, the bout somehow carried on. The young star, displaying unimaginable bravery, wanted to keep fighting. But bravery rarely protects you from permanent damage, and allowing a visually compromised fighter back into line of fire sparked an outrage that completely overshadowed the rest of the event. But while the fans debated the stoppage, the people closest to the fighter were living a waking nightmare.
შეგვიძლია ვთქვათ, რომ მაგალითად ცოტა დაბნეულობა არის მაყურებლებში, ხო, როდესაც შენ ჩხუბობ და როდესაც ილია ჩხუბობს, მგონი კარგად არესმით, რამდენად დიდ როლს თამაშობთ ერთმანეთისთვის, თუნდაც მომზადების პროცესში და უბრალოდ რო დავაზუსტოთ, ანუ სწორი იქნება ჩვენი მხრიდან იმის ჩათვლა, რომ მაგალითად როდესაც შენი ბრძოლა არის, ილიას ბრძოლის რაღაც გამოცხადებაც არ ველოდებით, ანუ რიგრიგობით რო იჩხუბებთ, ხო? ხო სწორი იქნებოდა.
ჯერჯერობით სწორი იქნებოდა. აქამდე სხვადასხვა ქონია შემოთავაზებები, მაგრამ უარი გითხოვს. სხვადასხვა ეხლა ილია რო ჩარლზ ოლივეირასთან ჩაუვიდა ერთი კვირით ადრე შემოთავაზეს ჩხუბი, ხორცდები ეს ბაქოში იყო და უარი ვთქვით.
Behind every fighter is a deeply personal support system, and for the young prodigy, that system was his older brother. The two had built their entire lives around combat, starting on wrestling mats together at just 8 years old. They weren't just siblings, they were best friends, training partners, and the architect of an empire. Before the fight, his brother spoke with absolute, unwavering certainty, entirely convinced that the veteran posed zero threat. Watching that absolute certainty crumble in real time was devastating. He had to stand by helplessly as the man he helped build into a champion was brutally dismantled and rushed to the hospital before the winner's hand was even officially raised. It was a heartbreaking reminder of the extreme collateral damage carried by the families of those who step into the cage. Meanwhile, the man who caused all this destruction offered absolutely zero apologies. When the prospect of an eventual rematch was brought up, the veteran's response was as cold as his fighting style. He completely dismissed the idea, stating bluntly that he had broken his opponent's will and made him quit on the stool. In his eyes, this wasn't a competitive back and forth. It was an absolute domination. He had entered the fight as a massive underdog, completely written off by the media, only to execute a flawless strategy that exposed the glaring holes in a so-called perfect record. He had proven that hype and undefeated streaks mean absolutely nothing when you are locked in a cage with someone entirely willing to walk through hell to break you. This unforgettable night permanently altered the landscape of the sport. It exposed the fragile nature of supreme confidence and proved that no fighter, regardless of their talent or their record, is truly untouchable. The physical wounds will eventually heal, but the lingering question remains. How does a fighter rebuild an empire once the foundation of invincibility has been violently shattered?